Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins. I'll be as quick as I can and we'll work out if there's any chance that we're going to go down or up. So essentially buying the dips or selling the tips. I don't think anyone's ever said that before, neither have I, but maybe that should become a new phrase. So let's have a look. So Bitcoin here on the daily, one thing has started to concern me. Notice bearish divergence taking place on the RSI here. So basically as the price is going up, the RSI is going down, suggesting that there could be a pullback. Not massive, but there could be a pullback. Also, we've not been able to make any, I suppose, real effort to close candles above this rejection zone. This is a giant area of resistance here, and we're doing okay, and the moving averages are going to be pushing us up into it if we can hold this area. But given the bearish divergence that we've got in play there, it looks like we want to probably come down before we go back up. Now we could burst, and there could be a blow off top moment, and if that did happen, it would take us to these key areas that we saw over here at the parabolic top back in 2017-18. And these would be the areas where we'd probably get dumped into. The absolute top would be around about 17,134, but probably it would be sold a bit before then, around 16,650. Now, that would be a blow off top moment. I don't think at the moment the chart doesn't look like it's ready to sustain a higher move than that, but I could be wrong. Another reason I say that is, what's going on here? Let's fix that chart, reset the chart. Another reason I say that is that the money flow index is very high. It can obviously go higher than this, but it's getting quite high there, so I think that needs to come down also, and it's not. It's bumping its head around the top. And the third thing is the MACD. The MACD can get higher, and it's curling over a little bit on the daily, which suggests that there might be a bit of downwards pressure. But if we look at where we were previously, the last time we got anywhere close to this kind of height, it's over here. And this is the area where we got that high before. And if you have a look at that, that was the top of this level here. Different though, because this was a trend line that we broke down beneath, and we were rejected from, but that was basically the same sort of area that we're at this level now. So there's a few reasons for me to think that we could be coming down from here. So now let's have a look at where we could be coming down to. First call would be on the daily, the 10 exponential. We tested it here, and we kind of tried to test it again today, but if we did come down to test that and support it above there, I think we've got every chance that we'll probably just rally from there. But if we do break down from there, I'll be looking all the way back down here around about 12,900. Now I'm not saying that this is going to happen, and if it did happen, it would still be bullish, because if we're above this trend line, this is the bullish bull market trend line that we want to stay above in order to make big moves. You see, we get rejected and supported over and over and over again. It's highly relevant, and it's upwards facing, so it's still very, very bullish. Being above here, every day that we're above here is extremely bullish. But what I should say is that even though we're above here now, and we do break, if we were to break down from the price action that we're at right this second, it wouldn't be a great deal in the grand scheme of things. That's a 16% move from that, where we are right now, to that trend line all the way down there. 16%, you know, we see that all the time with altcoins. That's not a big deal. And would still be massively bullish, and that's where the dip would be bought for me, and I would be going long on that there, because there's a very strong chance we will move from there, and I'll show you why. When the trend line was in its inception, you see here we got rejected from it, and these look like small moves, but they're not. It's just that the candles don't look very big. But that there is a 41% rejection, and the opposite of that, when we broke above here, we moved up, down, and to test it. So we'll measure this from the trend line to the top. That's a 14% move, and again all the way back down, all the way to the top here, and all the way back down, 14% move. And then we rally massively. It doesn't look big because these candles are very small, but we rally massively all the way up to this level, 47% move. Everyone thinks that we're going to the moon. Unfortunately, we're not. We're coming back down about 30%, about 31%, and then it's only then that we do move, and we move massively, about 250% up from that level there. Excellent, that's what we like to see. But you know, just because we're at this level now and we're above here now, this is still very small in comparison to what we've just seen, where those candles look small. These moves here are even smaller than those, and to come back down to test this trend line isn't, like I say, it's not a big deal. Being above here is great, just be very careful being in any kind of leverage long or anything like that. In fact, if you really want to be careful, just don't do it. You know, wait for the right opportunity. These are volatile moments, volatility, you want to be on the right side of it, so just be very careful with it. I don't think we're likely to break down any further than here, but I think at this point now, I think that yes, we could blow off the top, but I think that there is going to be a pullback now, and I think the pullback could bring us down to that trend line. I'm not going to say that's happening today or tomorrow. It could happen this week though. That's what I'm saying. We're Monday today, we've got a full week ahead of us. And another interesting point, actually, just before I move on to some of these altcoins, is the vaccine that's been announced today. So a reasonably successful vaccine that's going to be rolled out has had a tremendous effect on traditional markets, but the tech sector was kind of left out of that. So you've got the Dow Jones, the FTSE, the S&P, oil rallying massively. Oil's up at 1.10% in a day. That's a big deal. Dow Jones, all these guys, they're up about 5% in one day. But the tech sector, the Nasdaq, it struggled to get above 1%. In fact, it was even dumping at one point. So what does that mean? It means that for the Nasdaq, for instance, what that means is the world's looking like it's likely to get back to normal. You can look at it in the same way that you look at altcoins, right? Altcoins dumped massively while Bitcoin was rallying, and then they got to a point where they're at such a low level that you just couldn't ignore them, and they were getting bought back up. Same deal with traditional markets. All these areas like airlines, restaurants, blah blah blah, they've suffered big time. They're getting bought back into now because their futures are not secure, but they're looking a lot rosier than they did yesterday. And the tech sector, well, they've been booming because whether you're at work or you're at home, in fact, you could argue that lockdown has been good for them because everybody's using Zoom, Netflix, Amazon. You see what I mean? And now, yeah, they'll always be used, but they'll be less used as they will do as in a lockdown situation. So how's that going to transfer to traditional markets? Well, the S&P and the Nasdaq and gold, they kind of do correlate with Bitcoin. So there's no exact there's nothing precise. You can't say just because this has done this will do that. There's conflicting information there because the Nasdaq and the S&P both kind of did opposite things today, but I think my personal view is that the Nasdaq is probably the better indicator, as well as gold, for Bitcoin than the S&P. But the health of traditional markets does transfer into Bitcoin, but Bitcoin has rallied quite a lot recently, and if traditional markets are booming on their own, there's no reason to allow the dollar to continue to go down. Right? So what is it, 22% of the dollars have been made this year that are in entire circulation. That's going to have a negative effect on things like inflation in the future. They don't want to be doing that. They want to bring that price down back. They want a reasonably stronger dollar, and that can be done kind of at the touch of a button. Now, this is all like theoretical, but you have to try and think about these things when working out how we get a top. So we've had a look at the Bitcoin indicators, which suggest that this could be close to a top, only a local top that would be. So it's reasonable to assume, with all these other things that are going on in the world, that actually, there might be some better options for your money. Also, from what I understand, capital gains tax is going to be doubled in America. So there's a lot of reasons to want to take profits now. That's what I'm saying, for certain people and for obvious reasons. So Bitcoin to me looks like it could be at a local top, but the downside would only be about 12%. Anyway, let's look at XRP. Basically, a bit more bearish, being on the 4 hourly here. Let's go to the daily. Still within this cloud. Only until we break out of this red cloud will we start to go bullish. That's going to take about another week. We're not going to be out of here at this current price action for another week. What was that? 8 days. So some point next week, I would expect some decent moves from that. I would expect also a dump if Bitcoin were to dump 12%. I would certainly expect to see XRP dump 12% or more. But the bright side is going to be in the next couple of weeks. That's when the new rallies will take place. BAT, this is another coin I'm very interested in. Keep trying to go in long on this one, but for the moment I think I'm just going to wait a little bit. What we're seeing here is, again, sort of the bearish divergence playing out, and we've got these low levels here that are going to be hopefully hit around about between 16.5 and 17.5. That would be an ultimate buy area, looking to maybe double or maybe even triple you do a 3x maybe at best on that one. Ocean, now I've been speaking about this one for about a week now, especially on my Telegram. this is the coin. This is the ultimate coin to own for altcoins. Even in a day like today, when market's down, it is not down. It's gone up, and it's going to continue to go up. This is a great chart. Everything about this chart is great. The money flow index is not too high. The RSI is not too high. You've got extremely bullish setup here with the RSI. Now this could come back down, no problem. It could come back down all the way down to 45 cents. It would be an absolute steal at that. Now, I'm not your financial advisor, so this is not financial advice, but this one I'm expecting really big moves in the long term. I think this one's going to be my biggest hodl. I'm always going to hold a bag of this. I've been holding a bag of this for about a month now, and I think I'm always going to keep that bag, and I'm going to try and accumulate as much more as possible on this one. This one's an absolute beauty of an altcoin. Chainlink, again, we've got a trend line that we're just about holding, a bit of a strange looking. It doesn't look very constructive on the 4-hourly, but there is a channel that we're moving within, and we are currently roughly being supported on this top of this itchy cloud. If we can maintain this channel, this will bring us all the way up to around about 16.5, 17 cents. By the end of the year, this channel should hopefully continue, and we could at any point break out of this. But at the same time, moving channels that move up like this often do break to the down. Technically, we already broke down beneath it and kind of invalidated it, but I'm going to keep it in all the same, but it is kind of invalidated. So I do think that this one will break down beneath this channel again, and we'll probably see areas around about $10.50. Now this one's a really hard one to call. Like we've been trading this recently because we found, I suppose you could call it a double bottom area, 1, 2, 3, but this is a bit of a pumpy and a dumpy. We're on the 4-hourly here, basically being rejected from the center of the center of the Bollinger Band there. If we break above there, every chance that we could make it at least to $1, $1.70. So $1.07, but again, this one is a scary coin. Let's have a look at it on the daily, and you can see how nasty it really is. Massive rejection here on the 50 exponential, fastly moving down. It's kind of getting a little bit better now. The money flow index broke down beneath the buy zone, so this was where I started to get interested. When I saw that, and basically that was all I really needed to get in. Basically made a really good profit on that one. I've sold this one now for the moment, and I'm a little bit scared to get back in because generally the chart doesn't look very good at all, does it? We've got this huge cloud above us, getting rejected from the first realistic moving average there, so it's a little bit scary to get back in. Obviously you could make a lot of money if you did buy it, but you could also get caught in a really nasty negative position. Anyway, at the moment, I think this one is best to wait out, to be honest with you. We could go up, we could go down. If we did go up, like I say, $1,000 from here, that could easily happen. But I think it's more likely in my book that even if it went up $1,000, I think the destination is down and quite likely to hit that trend line, which is around about 13,000-ish area. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there, and I would appreciate if you've subscribed. Also, you can copy my trades automatically on Bityard, so set yourself a Bityard account up. There's a link in the description below. Set yourself an account up, throw some tether in there, and over the next coming days I will introduce my copy trader system, and you can basically just copy my trades. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice evening. Take it easy.